is 6 from 8.3 according to what we have here. And quick single take and punched into the cover. That's good running. The throw coming to the non-striker's end. Ooh, Lisa Ramjet just maybe a little bit tardy in getting down rather. Had that been the direct hit. Interesting. That single goes on to 37 for 1. Looking to Tara. Contact. Full delivery, so those you probably want to come forward and play, but of the and at 9 the score is 37 for 1. Bowler is he has bowled 1 over, 2 overs, signed up to the attack for her second. Very powerful side for down on 1 ball through the let's call it mid wicket, just square leg, but powerfully. Unlike the outfield, this outfield is one that appears to reward. So the first ball of this in the 9th over, the 10th over rather, goes for 4, and no question. Looking point, if you are the Maryland girls, you're looking to accelerate. Stop that delivery, having Ramjet and then spinning away from her, beaten in the fly ball, not collected by the keeper. Had that been collected cleanly, it might have been an opportunity for a stumping. Here's Sainavi again, tossed up. Lisa again looking for a big, not made contact. 4 to start the over. Deliver that. Leg swept away for 4. Sainavi has gotten that ball exactly where she'd like for it to be. Here she is again, tossed up. Lisa pushes it into the covers, sort of tentatively, very assuredly. This is good bowling, and good bowling on the turf wicket. It's always going to be something. A good spinner on the turf wicket, no less. It's going to be somebody who troubles even the best batters in the world. Tossed up again, and Lisa, good reaction to this delivery that stays low, but she keeps it out. Hot ball or 4 to start the over, but then 4 consecutive, that 3 consecutive dots. 5th and 6th balls coming up and over here. Tossed up and knocked into the covers. Oh, I was incorrect. So the first ball went for 4, but then immediately after that, 5 consecutive dots. A great over by Sainavi. Restricts the scoring to just 4 from that over. And the score after 10 is 41 for 1. We'll be taking a quick cover. Be back shortly.
Brian, I've got the layout.
Is this one?
One side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mira, you can also come. So, what layout of the presentation? We will discuss the layout. You said it, you will be so we're going to handle the girls portion only.
So who's doing the score? You or
I'm Brian.
make sure you wave your hand when we signal, okay? If you don't say anything, I don't know you getting the run or not. Make sense? And make sense. In a white ball. I mean.
Very kind, very kind. So, I'm going to send it to you the whole layout. For the girls session, just pass it over. This will pass it directly to you. Okay.
What's the score?
Going to be you, and then the
We're
name.
gonna have the girls session first, and then
Yeah, no, but
That's a small part of the whole section.
Good.
Okay. So like
We're on the same page.
I'm going to send it to you. You can review it. She calls you there, then you call somebody else.
Let's go there already.
Then you search. Then you. What's the last one? Then you to you. Then you call you. So this is how they are.
You guys are in Maryland?
The individual awards, I'm going to will not for the game. So as soon as I get it, I'm going to send it to you. As soon as it's done, I'm going to add in the same text. Then you have one who's in the audience. Keep get a bit of update same. Like where they sit and relate to increase, right? Teams will come in that area, get a picture, so you'll not be worried like all the we'll just accept like what's yeah, but not like everybody comes. So when it's called the whole team, the parents can walk into come together in the same frame, take a picture. But no, yeah, that's how we go to champions are up same thing. And then that's the goal those guys will call up. Like 300 or I'm gonna put that quickly call those guys. So I'll quickly make a list of all this. That's about it.
next one's
You're coming.
I'll be here until like it's not but yeah. And I'm streaming at two places. This is backup.
okay.
This is
Got
the
it.
main one.
Got
So
it. Got it.
it's in case something happens there, I still have.
Okay, so 10 overs, 41 score. Who is 13 opened the batting one. Now into the more important overs of this match. Lisa Ramjit currently the non-striker, and Tara 7. Check that. Lisa is 7 from 13 on strike. Really has appeared to be very aggressive. This is her third over. Ball stays a little bit. The covers rather. They'll get a single. That's all they'll get as fielder coming in. Sweeper from the offside coming in to clean up. So you would think at this stage that Maryland with would start looking to find if they can increase the scoring rate with no delivery. Pitch ripped and turned away, leaving Lisa Ramjit 7 from 15 is what she has now. So the 50 strike to make sure that is because continue right now at the rate at which scoring, which is 6 1. I would like to think, even with the difficulty or the tricky nature of on a turf wicket for the first time this weekend, that they'd be looking for something closer to 100. For them to get closer to 100 from this stage, they would have to be batting at just a rate of over 6. This is defended into the front and good backup. Situation awareness by the DreamCricket squad. They are a very well coached team. Much is obvious. Another taken though. So now with just 2 balls remaining here in the 11th, score is 43 for 1. Tara again back on strike. Oh, that stays a little low and she does well to keep that out. Last ball remaining. That overall, in fact, that was incorrect. That was the last ball of the over. So 43 for 1 is the score. Overall run rate now is 3.91. So at 3.91, effectively you're looking at an overall score at the end of the inning, assuming you keep the same 8. Even though those low-scoring games can sometimes be tricky to chase, I think if you are the Maryland girls, you're going to want something closer to 100. Started saying a second, scoring at the rate of 6 and over. That gets you from here to 97. 7 and over from here gets you 106. 8 and over from here gets you to 115. 9 and over. Ecstatic if they're 9 and over. I don't think they can get there. Short into the gap. Down. I think 9 and over out of reach. I still think that they need to be more aggressively than they are right now. 9 wickets in hand. And so Platt, I think, is there for them to be able to on if they'd like for it to be. What a great, absolutely great delivery. Spinning, turning away from Tara. Reaches forward, overbalances, and the wicketkeeper does the rest. A beautiful piece of bowling. She's bowled those types of deliveries a few times already today. And on that occasion, I think that might be the best leg spinners I've seen for a very long time. So we have what, or who can be this reluctant comments, but I'm going to her
On a gunpoint.
at implied gun. Add her comments. First of all, I met you a second ago, but please, for the people, let them know who you know, your expertise with the sport, and then describe a little bit about what you just saw.
Good morning, viewers. Good morning to you. I am very, very happy to be here. My name is Meera Subramaniam, and I am from Boston, Massachusetts, ex-cricketer from Karnataka, and passion and want to give back into the game, and so here I am.
Fantastic. So when you played, first of all, what position were you? Were you batter? Were you bowler? All-rounder?
I was a batter.
Batter.
Yeah.
So you would have faced good spinners growing up playing in India.
Absolutely.
Tell me about that delivery that you just saw, and what was it that made it a successful ball?
I think it was a flight to delivery, beautifully done. You know, to watch and hit the ball is kind of difficult because you're anxious. You want to just go after the ball, but that's exactly what she tried to do. Came out of the cricket and take that. And unfortunately,
Completely with those, particularly for a leg spinner. First of all, a leg spinner in any form of cricket is an asset, particularly in a limited over where players are going to be looking to get after you. To have the ball leaving the right, really a very key part of the game.
absolutely, I agree.
So your new batter is Urena. Urena, oh, very full Yorker length almost. half-hearted as I think, but from our angle here, that might have been down left. You have to tell me your name again.
Mira.
Mira.
Yes. Mirror, mirror on the wall.
That's the perfect way of remembering. So, Mira, tell me, just backing off a little bit, the specific game itself, or thinking strategically and globally about the growth of cricket. How important is it that you can have or young women playing in a tournament of this magnitude?
I think it is awesome that there are platforms which are offering them to come and play tournaments like this. I honestly would think, that there has to be a way to come into the system that is where we can make it a curriculum sport. We can bring it as a sport where we encourage us to start cricket and also playing like any other sport. I think my vision is to see that it becomes a regular sport every part of the country.
You are preaching to the choir as it relates
I
to the
am
development
sure.
of cricket.
Yes.
That has always been one of my biggest passion projects. These days, a long time ago, I used to be on the board of the USA Cricket Association. I'm no longer a politician in that sense, but my work on the development committee is designed to fix that one problem. It is a multi-step process that will take multiple years, very frankly, possibly multiple decades. It is not easy to break into the upper echelon of sporting. So there's always going to be football, basketball, baseball.
Right.
Next level, you probably have hockey.
True.
The next level down, you probably have rugby.
Right.
And then the next level down, you have cricket. Several steps down. And very honestly, for the second most popular sport in the world, that's in my mind a level too far down, maybe a level or two too far down for us to be. But I think the reality is that with the opportunity to build a fan following, and then this one is key for me, to have it just be people from the Caribbean and South Asia playing. And that points to somebody like Urena, who is the new batter, who is neither from the Caribbean nor from South Asia. There's a few players on the Maryland team, thinking of people like Stevie and people like Jenna,
Right.
who play everything but have found the game and are starting to play it. If we take
Oh, I hear you loud here, actually.
take that model and have more people buy into it. Listen, I'm not saying in the Caribbean we shouldn't play cricket. We love it, we want to play it.
Right.
But then for it to be not seen as a niche sport, there's an opportunity to take it to a wider audience. And the more that you're able to do that, then the more you can actually start imprinting the sport on the footprint of the American scene.
Absolutely. Also, will say 100% what you're saying. About this, I think there has to be more loud screaming. Awareness has to be this program, and it's not of these players who are here, but how can you spread the word? I think IPL is coming into the United States soon, and I think with that having said, I am
Oof!
सिंगल कट करना था लास्ट बॉल क्या यार
Well,
I'm sorry. We just
you were finishing that point, and just to summarize where we are in this game, I believe at the end of 13, the score is 45 for 2. Lisa Ramjit, 9 from 22, and Urena Acholonu, none from 4. But I think it's important to note that towards the back end of this innings, the talent of the Dream Cricket squad, where they're actually choking the life out of Maryland, seems like the overall run rate is slowly falling, which is the opposite stage of the innings.
and hopefully they will pick it up this over. I've seen her bowl over. I'm hoping in the air a little bit. A little better. We'll see, and let's see how they perform.
I believe that this is Sai Navi about to bowl, and I think it's her last over. She has bowled beautifully. 3 overs, 1 for 12, but that doesn't take into account. Look at that. This one just a little too short and allowing Lisa Ramsey to go back on the back foot. The general pattern that she bowls is to bowl that tossed up delivery, maybe an off stop, having the batter reaching forward and then having the ball turn and leave her. That simple formula I think has made her very, very effective. If she drops a little short like she just did just now, then she can score it off. But for the most part, if she bowls at fuller length, that off stump line, she's very difficult to play, as you can see there.
I agree, and the winds are also pretty wild today, I see.
So, let me put you on the spot. If you were we could there's all at 3.49. If you continue scoring at some things they can do to start accelerating.
I think they should come to an understanding. They should start singles the ball. See that that's where they are missing a little bit, just like how ran before, hesitating to run.
Yes.
So singles are sometimes the most advantageous way of increasing your score. And during a time like this, they are finding they should be ready and gets a go at the ball. So they put pressure on the fielders. Right now, if you see the fielders, they're all outside. The singles are easy to take. Here comes the bowler.
Billy, on that occasion, notes DreamCricket has done because Lisa Ramjit is a little bit longer. She's a very established player. So on the circle when she's on strike. But as soon as the new batter, Urena, comes in, then everybody comes in
Closer.
10 or 15 yards. So they're wanting to make sure that there are no easy singles given. That's
Placing.
a good call. That's a good call. I love that from Urena. Immediately saw the opportunity, loud call, took off running, Lisa. That's what they need more of to be able to
Singles too. I think placing is very important to the position of your batter. So body length.
So Mira, tell us a little bit about what you do in Boston.
So I have a team and a coach,
Okay.
and it's called Chickadees. Quite range of years through 50. A unique situation, but the passion for cricket is what I ask people to join in the team, and that's my passion on one side, and I am in the finance. Nice.
Good, proper.
Come
Gotta
back. Come
Gotta be.
back. Very good. Good running entry. Excellent. Good throw.
So I'll ask you about finance in just a minute, but
Of course.
tell me about what was the name of the team?
Chickadees. Yes.
Chickadees. What are you trying to accomplish with that?
So I want to do is basically promote, bring Massachusetts women's team on the mainstream and bring them on the map, and to see how we can do that. And my vision, bring in young talent as well, teams A and B, and see how we can play. Have the year. So drawback.
Mhm.
And to get the that is such a challenge. There's huge of men's cricket, but there is no provision for women's cricket. So that's where I want to come into the picture to see how I can give back the game and bring in cricket. And it's the only women's team out there, so I'm trying to, grow it and see if I can sustain.
Quick single taken on the infield. Aditi Chulasama is the bowler. She's bowled relatively well. I think very accurate, doesn't give away a whole lot. So that's what you want as sort of a holding off stage of the innings. And struggling to get the ball off of the square. But the way you do that is by taking singles exactly like that. So opportunities there, I think, to start accelerating. You don't have to accelerate by hitting 4s and 6s and singles when they're offered to you. So I think overall we're now at
15. 1-5.
15 overs bowled. To be confirmed, I think the score is 2. So the last
15-1.
last 5 will be very important here because
53.
at the current rate they'll get to 71. I don't know that 71 enough to win the T20. Even on a tricky turf wicket will make a big difference. I think
Hard hits.
there be scoring. Probably not. You don't need 4s and 6s, even though those would be nice.
Right.
But just I'd like to see more aggression. I'd like to see more. With 9 wickets in the hutch,
Yes,
you're almost at the point where you're almost looking to run on everything. Ooh, tossed up delivery. That's the thing. Put the pressure on. It looks like you're trying.
Finance. I work for a bank.
Okay.
And I manage a bank branch.
Mhm.
A member of people.
Okay. That's a good looking cut to sweep, protect against that type of delivery. That you would think that everything's on her now. The primary asset to be able to accelerate. To approach you in the bank to build a 30-acre cricket facility. Can I borrow some money to do that? What would your response be?
Absolutely. First of all, I would always say, what that you're looking for, you want to, if you were to get a loan, and would you be able to support the extra that you need?
Sure.
Because it's not always the case that you get a good shot, very good thing. No runs taken at this point.
To the multi-dollar request
Of
for a
course.
30-acre facility in a minute. Right. For 2. The 2 balls remaining here in the 16th. So decent thing. So you're going to want to make sure like this ball, yes, you have to score off of those. Absolutely have to score off of those.
Back.
And even then, tell me a little bit. Okay, so somebody in your position who's played cricket at the highest level for a very long time, how important is it to put the pressure on the fielding side? Even if there's only one single there, at least act like you're going to run a double to potentially put that pressure on them.
Absolutely. And by now, I think it's time that they start on both
Yes.
taking runs, and singles is something which you definitely want to put pressure
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time connecting the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And now they've been here for a while.
Mm-hmm.
T20s are from the get-go. I think it is so important that you strategize yourself in a way where you know exactly how many runs you're going to be taking. At this point, they should be actually doing the calculations in their minds and saying, yeah, this is what we need to do now. How do we start taking singles and how do we start connecting? Do we go bold and come out and hit?
Yeah.
So depending on, because they have already experienced these bowlers, so I would think that they need to strategize themselves more.
Oh, attempted pull. I think that's of the arm. Yep. Urena tapping her forearm as if to indicate that that's where the ball came from. Good umpiring in the end to not give that out. Sanjana right and back for no run. You're going to have to accelerate a lot if you are the Maryland side. While outside, that's cut away very hard, but that's a good stop in the covers. Lisa Ramjet putting some effort into that cut shot, but not able to get it through the infield. They get a single. They'll, I think, need a whole lot more than that at this stage. Wave and a miss by Urena. Sanjana again. Short. Pull that. Giving us curious as to why. Oh, there it is. So, first wide conceded by Sanjana. Again, another amount of momentum going start. Okay, this has to be around one for that. In the end, double will help. Still a long way drift. Should be. I would think this wicket is at least a par 9 sort of a wicket. So you'd want to at least get up to that level. And if you have the time that far, you want to at least momentum into the innings from the stage. Sanjana again, tossed up. Oh goodness. Wondering if that was a strategic. I'm wondering if that was a strategic dot ball, so Lisa can be on strike the next over. I'd be surprised if that were the case because
I wouldn't be surprised too.
yes. So that one to the experience of Lisa Ramjet. If you do it, you absolutely have to score when the ball comes in.
I know.
Okay, so speaking of cricket facilities, have you been able to access to look at the facilities?
Okay.
Fairly.
I see.
The Prairie View Cricket Complex.
63.
In fact, covering the July 4th.
Wonderful.
So, not yet made it there.
Nope. You know, I haven't
What is
had
taking so long?
I know, that's true. I was supposed to have gone a couple of years. I did have the tournament going on there, with my team, but unfortunately I had to, to juggle between cricket and work, family, everything. It's
Sure. That is a good shot. Well, if you take a strategic dot ball to end the previous over,
well worth it.
this is what you need to do. Pounce all over them. On that occasion, I think that is Mahek Desai. Maybe not just pitching it up as much as she would like to. And Lisa Ramsey immediately to the back foot and pulling it a little bit too straight for that field at mid-wicket. And it goes away for the second boundary for Lisa. She's now 24 from 37. Be inaccurate. For her in a second, but she's battling and she's still out there. So want your captain and possibly your best batter to be able to push your team towards something that hopefully will be a now let's see if Mahek.
Oh, beautiful.
A little too short. Pounds up and one away behind square side. So consecutive boundaries, easily productive over so far for Maryland. That pushes the score up to 7-1. And you take that every day. If you're Maryland, you want to make sure that you're bowling something to aim, something to try and how important is it, even relatively on the board, to be in the final?
Super important. I think the batters have to now start looking at it as what are the ways of keeping this and pressure on the as much things should be and they should start. So, okay, 2 runs, good call. Running, excellent. I'm so excited. I'm on the field out there.
Well, we will just not have any excitement in the commentators' booth.
Absolutely.
What you want is excitement, just generally, if you're
Yes.
watching this game.
Absolutely.
But if you're Maryland, what you want is momentum and acceleration.
Absolutely.
So 3 balls, 11 runs, you will take that any day. And so with 3 balls remaining in this over, you already have the most productive over of the inning so far. And so your key now is just to continue to push on. Now Urena, who is now on strike, that she is to, there she goes. That's what you need. Just get to, you're not quite as we used to call up and run. Get
Not yet.
put the ball, and if there's a slack of opportunities to get a run, you take off running. So, and that of course requires great communication between you and your partner. So that's why that's another important part of the game. Ramsey back on strike again, too short. But this time, mid-wicket should be able to get there. Looking for 2 good running.
Running in between, I would say, and a good.
So the most productive over by far continues. 14 runs already from this over with just 1 ball remaining. Now, if you are Lisa Ramjet, you are looking for the best way to score a single here. You don't want to bounce. You want to on strike the next inning. And I'm assuming she's going to stop here. Nope, she's coming back to run. You know what? You'll take the runs if they're on offer. And that is good. So really productive. Loving this. You wanted this a couple of months ago, but you'll take it now. Score is now 7-2. The productivity over to the last 2 overs. 9. Pressure. On Dream. Lisa ran to 5 from, even though it needs to get the, she's now up to 7 from 16. So you just want these two, or whoever comes to the wicket. There's 12 balls left. There's almost as many wickets in hand as there are balls left. So you absolutely
They
just
just
have to
need
go
to-
for anything at this stage.
I think they should go for it.
In the meantime, this will be, I believe, Captain
I think
Aditi.
they should last 6 overs. So many men. They should be a little more looking at become more hitting right now.
Yep.
Put pressure on the fielders.
Yep. If you are Urana, job one. If you're Lisa, up immediately. You don't want to get man-catted, but you want to make sure that you're immediately ready to run.
Right.
Oh, like
There you
that.
go.
And you've been
Like that.
backing up. That could have been a buy that you could have stolen. But then again, maybe not. Maybe you don't want to get stumped or run out rather by half the distance of the pitch. But
But they have a lot of wickets in hand.
the counter argument is the captain needs to be there. Now here, there. Interestingly, she threw to the end away from Lisa Ramjet. That would have been the bigger wicket. So, and in fact, she was already facing that direction. So, a curious choice. But again, if you're Maryland, you will take. There's now 80 for 2 with inning. Interestingly, now there is a mid wicket in place. There's a deep leg. Acres of space, and there's a deep long on. Acres of space on the leg side. Nobody inside the circle outside. Just to mid. But I think Lisa will be looking for more than that. Bang! Ooh, that's exactly it. That easy run, comeback. Have to come back. Have to come back. Have to come back. That is good running. That is exactly what you want. So good. And then an opportunity for a run. Boy, now the wrong throw. Wow. A great throw, just missing, but ultimately 3 more runs to the total.
This is
And that's where being aggressive running between the wickets causes the fielding side sometimes to sort of the plot. And so now in the last 3 deliveries, or the last deliveries of U18 run, is going to be another bye. Good call by Lisa. Oh, wait. One umpire says no why, it's just a bye. Because that makes a difference. So, I believe that makes the score 84 for 2 with 2 balls remaining in the 19th. Lisa Ramjet just playing this into the covers. Single. So 1 ball remaining here for Urena to safely negotiate. At this stage, I would have to think C ball, hit ball. But to their credit, Maryland is now up to 85. So good acceleration towards the back end of the innings. Oh, wide. Okay. Almost was about to say a dot ball to end things, but it's not yet a dot ball because it was adjudged wide by the umpire. So 1 more ball in Aditi's over. Her 3rd over, but of course she will not be able to finish her spell. Better delivery. Now taking off running for that ball. Hit to mid wicket. Just a single to end things here. So yet productive over. 8 runs coming from that over. 9 runs coming from the last 5. 24. 2. So you're accelerating appropriately. You're Maryland. And as of this stage as the tent around us is fighting a losing battle with the weather. Only one over. 6 balls remaining. At this really tip and run.
There is no new side, so we have to hold the one. So holding
Last over.
Last over.
This
Oh,
is the over. Last ball, 2 overs. 3 overs.
okay, so the last over last year. She will be bowling to Urena. Everyone inside the circle on the offside is in close. Got a run. Oh no, no run there. That time there was really no way to get away from that one. So desperate to have Lisa Ramjet back on strike. Fielders inside the circle. Backward. There's a regulation point. There's a cover, an extra cover. Maryland. So just one official delivery ball so far in this over, and score is 88 for 2. Urena looking to get ball on bat. Last year, so far 3 overs, none for 12. Her goal is just to get out of this over as little minimal damage as possible. Flash and a miss. Nope, not out. Lisa Ramjet still at the non-striker's end. And Lisa 39 from 43. Really closing in on 100 strike rate, but she's not going to be able to get it if Urena doesn't get back to ball. And now the two of them are talking. I think that the result of that conversation will be, I'm running after this delivery. You can run if you want to, you can stay if you want to. I would be shocked what happens to the ball. There. That's good cricket. That's what have happened. For the non-strikers, and it really didn't matter if that hit or not, except for the fact that there's a single, because the priority at this stage is to get Lisa Ramjet back on strike. What has happened? Score is now 89, and Lisa has, I believe, 3 deliveries to inflict as much damage as she can. Oh, bounces awkwardly and takes out the off stump. Oh, brutal delivery. Not the, if you were looking for what you expect from a cricket pitch, I don't know that that's the type of delivery you'd have expected. But I think with all the motivation in the world, big Lisa maybe lost her shape a little bit at the point where she played the shot aiming skyward. So maybe from that standpoint, it's unfortunate. But, you know, she did a fair amount of work to pull her team back into a competitive position. And at the end of her innings, she goes for 39 from 44. At the end of her innings, the score is now 89 for 3.
Ram.
Satnarayan.
Satnarayan.
Ram.
Satnarayan. Batsman name.
Jenna. Oh,
No, that's
Jenna. Jenna. Could have just asked me. Yes, you should have.
Exactly.
I'm not just a pretty face here, you know. I know. So to our big conversation
Yes,
earlier about development. Two guys, neither has a Caribbean or a background, and this pleases my heart. So, Jenna, you're in both in America and both playing cricket, which is something that I set up, take the delivery, team. So at this point, you just take runs any way you can get them, and they've reached that magical 90 figure.
There
So that's
you
a
go.
psychological advantage. And as we said earlier, runs on the board in the final can make a big difference.
Couple they've coming in. We see the last over.
Ooh, down the leg side. Good running. That is excellent running. It is a wide, so they get two. Well, it's only a wide, so it can't be wide and a bye. Umpire just made two different signals. Okay, if it's a wide, just go with the first one. Two wides. Two wides. So the umpire signaling both a wide and a bye, which is not a thing. So two more wides, which means that the score is now 92. Still 2 balls remaining here in the 20. Urena back on strike. Down the leg side. Boy, another wide. Make that 4 wide so far in the over. 2 legal outcomes. So 6 runs have been scored so far from this over. 5 wides. Additional bonus runs being gifted to you by delivery. Pulled away toward the boundary. That's going to go for 4, I believe. Yep, goes for 4. Tremendous stroke.
Good job. Yeah.
The score is 87.
The pull was very good. Perfect. You know, they are watching the ball. I think connecting the ball in the middle of the bat is something which gives them a lot of confidence to hit the ball. Timing is so important.
Fantastic. So 1 ball remaining. Urena on strike. Looking to cash in on this last ball.
And wide.
Wide. So again, 98 is now the score. Any amount of bats, I would think they'd be looking for 2 runs here, but you can rest assured that they'll be looking to run in just about anything from this last ball. Here it is, short. Oh, pulled, but it gets by the keeper. They've gotten 1. They come back with come back. Okay, so that is the end of the over. Good close out to the over. No signal from the umpire, but I believe that was a bye. So that means that the final score for the innings is 99, which means that the simple equation is that DreamCricket needs 100 and even 100 runs to win this championship. So we'll be taking a break for a little bit. Mira, it's fantastic talking to you.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure, and I think both the teams now know what the targets are, and hopefully they'll be aggressive right from the beginning, so that they can be. It's a dual score. I don't think it's. That's that the opening and the middle. And get them a good start.
Fantastic. Well, taking a break, and we'll be back for the chase in, let's say, 15 minutes. Oh, I just realized we're on the field.
Texas, you have good weather all year round, so I think that's such a big advantage.
See,
You know,
it depends on what you mean by good weather.
well, weather. So for us, Boston, we can't play outside. The logistics is just impossible because of the snow which we have and the severe winters. Maybe a couple of months and then it's done because it's too cold. You can't just play. And the counties, we don't have that support. The women's, I have been fighting. They are giving fields to all the other, sports and the men's cricket, whereas I am not getting. That's like fighting, literally fighting them.
Is there an opportunity to share
hard.
with the men?
Huh?
Is there an opportunity to share
They
with the
they
men?
they say that they are all booked. It's no for us. So, I know it
That's
is.
absolutely shameful.
I
get that.
and we do 2-hour practice, which they told us you can be between 7 and 9. So 9 o'clock, I'm asking all my,
Yeah.
players to come in.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Who's winning this?
We are.
Ah, of course. You
Confidence.
see?
I love it. Absolutely love it.
Anika is in the under 19, right? She got selected.
Yes, I think so.
She
I think so.
did, yeah.
She's a good cricketer. I like her.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's probably 1 month out of the year where you don't want to play
In
Texas. Probably February. February
Okay.
is February for us is like May for you. It can be 40 or it can be 20.
training.
So you generally don't want to plan cricket in that month, but all the other months of the year you can pretty
Yeah.
much always play.
Wow.
No, it doesn't mean that you don't have inclement weather. And there's a game, for example, 2 Januaries ago, we had a major storm, winter storm, which we usually don't have. Temperature was, I'm in Austin, the temperature was 5, which doesn't
Wow.
happen ever.
Yeah, no one
And-
is used to it.
And we had a foot of snow.
Oh my god. Never.
There's no snow plows, there's nothing.
Oh.
It sat there, snow was on the ground.
Oh,
But yeah, it was bad.
wow.
But generally speaking,
Yeah.
Prairie View, which is okay. So Austin is here, Houston is here, Prairie View is about right here.
Okay.
It's about
In
50 miles east of downtown Houston, and 8 turf wickets. It's a tremendous facility. Outfield looks like a test ground on all of them.
So who maintains it and who is the one who has it all? Is it sponsored by
It was
franchises?
the vision. Initially, it was a vision of a businessman by the name of Tender Amit.
Okay.
He started it.
Okay.
Since it's been recognized as the hub for USA cricket, I don't know the details. I suspect that there's an injection of funds to help with maintenance and doing something, especially for cricket. In fact, Man League starts there today. So games Sunday and Monday. I told them I wasn't going to be able to be there today because I wanted to be here,
Of course.
but fly home tonight, and then I'm helping cover it Sunday or Saturday, Sunday, and Monday,
Wow,
which is just
that's busy. Brutal.
it's
It's
a
a
lot
lot.
of work. But to think that we're talking about that level of cricket in this country is a far cry from where we used to be.
I've
Then,
heard so much about, your fields.
oh,
And it's beautiful. Yeah. I
so
can
for
imagine.
somebody who, I don't play anymore, but for somebody who played cricket on
Of course.
decent fields,
Yeah.
when we played, they're mostly artificial wickets, but the outfield was always spectacular. So seeing the grounds here, I was like, oh my god, these grounds encourage you to hit the ball and you can't hit the ball all over the ground.
It's not gonna go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And From what I understand, much of that is because of the, for example, we were playing at I forget the school it was, wherever the games were the last couple of days. Yeah, there. Number one, the grass is thick. Number two, halfway through the first match, there were 2 matches each.
Yes.
Halfway through the first match, they showed up and said, okay, everybody needs to take everything off the field because we're going to cut the grass.
Oh no.
So there was a 2-hour delay
No.
while
Really?
they cut the grass. It was, and then they cut it from here to here. So
That's not. They should have done that earlier. Yeah, the planning.
number one, it should have been done earlier. Number two, I
Can't
don't
do that.
get the sense, or I don't get the wisdom interrupting essentially what's a national tournament to say, nope, our guy needs to cut the grass now.
No.
That was-
Unacceptable. That's unreal. Really.
yeah. By the way, has Ranjit said nothing yet?
No. My family is here. My husband is here.
Okay.
She's a left-hander.
Okay.
And she plays all for Chili's.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, she plays just
Mm-hmm.
not really
How old is she?
into. She's 25.
Okay.
I have twin daughters, and
Okay.
both of them, so Vicky is my twin. Well, so they're both here today, and I said, we drove from Boston, of
Right.
course, because I had my brother lives here, so I figured, okay, it's nice to see my brother, whom I haven't seen for so long.
Sure.
And then I have some function to attend in New Jersey. So everything together, I figured a long weekend, let me just
Sure.
finish everything. And now I said, please don't come because this is crazy out here.
Yeah.
So, they were like texting me, oh, we can come and see legends. And I'm like, no, we'll get you the photographs.
There you go.
Yeah. And I left work. It's crazy work.
Right, so busy guy. Absolutely nothing to do with cricket.
I know.
Even though there's a big
it's
cricket ball in the
passion.
middle of my logo.
Hey, you know what? It's passion, and we played for Indies,
I'm from Jamaica.
Jamaica.
I moved when I was 14, so that somehow managed to live in Houston from
Yeah.
age 14 to age 30 before I realized that there was actually cricket being played there. So the best athletic years of my life were spent playing everything but cricket.
Yeah.
That's good.
No, I never. For the longest time, I said, I've grown up. Let me just see what I can do for you.
Sure.
And this is how, I was in Jersey, and Jersey was DreamCricket at that point, really up there, and I never was important enough for me to do something. Now I'm like, I want to push, I want to do this, I want to do that. It's so fun.
Yep. It definitely is. Just a second. There's a couple clients are emailing asking for stuff, so.
Please. I like this. I don't know.
Of course, I found out yesterday that I was going to be doing the MCA, so.
You bring water today?
Huh?
Can you bring water?
Water, but I'm too busy to drink it anyway.
Think you busy?
Yeah, always.
Ooh. Let me see who's putting the score now.
These guys
So, yeah,
confused.
I don't know if he's ever umpired before.
I know.
I doesn't look familiar with the process of umpiring. You know, a lot of people who don't know umpiring in this country do that. They'll do this, and then that's not a thing. You can't. Paste. Say this word. Is it Telugu?
Which one?
Okay.
Yeah. ATA? Yes. It's amazing how the association has pulled it off.
So, are they the sponsors of this event, or do that logistics of producing this?
It's in what is it, DC,
Okay.
and this happens to be a part of that. Like they have the game in their community as
Okay.
just one of those, like they play different things and they have picnics and they
Sure,
have
sure.
cricket. So they added this particular thing. I think they approached Ranjit at that point and said, would you like to bring in
Yeah.
WCL and we can have some cricket also. And that's how put these things together. So everything is taken care of by them. It's just the players coming and playing and under the wing of NWCL, but the umbrella is ATM.
Okay, so I should save this. Save.
Our scorers. They're missing. Oops.
Yeah.
So this is the finals. And you don't have a scorer. That's not good.
Yeah. Okay, so that takes care of this. Not sad, I haven't seen it yet. Going.
Oh,
So. setting the pin wrong.
At least.
Professional world, but we're so welcome back. Official. Even though we really never went anywhere.
Glad to be back.
To what we expect to be a pretty exciting chase.
Correct.
Nishka with the ball in her hand, left arm fast bowler. We'll be looking, oh look at that in swing first up. She'll be looking to help her side defend what at the 17th over looked like was going to be a very low total. And with the injection toward the end of some excitement, actually turns out to be a pretty imposing total. 100 runs in 120 balls, now 119 will not be easy to get. Batters are Captain Aditi Chulasama and Bhakti Shastri. Oh, full toss. Knocked into the outfield. It has been judged as a no ball. I'll see a replay, and that's... Don't get that was the ball.
Yeah. No.
Obviously, we're not at the best angle to be able to see. A full toss. Certainly going down the leg side, but
She took a good advantage of that.
yes. But now this delivers a free hit. Driven down the ground. And Lisa Ram across from mid-on to get there. Ooh, direct hit at the non-striker's end. Activity start this chase. Dot ball to start things. Then 2 and a no ball. And so different things going on here. You are in the banking industry, Mira, so you deal with the risk mitigation. But if you were not in the risk mitigation game, you want to just bet. Where would your money be on this game?
That's a really good question, and I would be in trouble actually.
Yeah. The,
Want me to say that?
the authorities wouldn't look very well on you. On the facility that you're going to loan
Yeah,
money to,
exactly.
yeah. Financial interest in that. That would be frowned on.
Absolutely not. I just want to see a good game.
Answer. What a political answer.
Don't we deal with that day?
At least one ball, no runs. There's this delivery. So years ago in the Reagan administration when I played,
Yeah.
I was a left arm opening fast bowler.
Yeah.
So I absolutely love left-handed fast bowler, first of all. And second of all, get the ball, get that in swing going to the right-hander. So fast. It's all a little too wide.
The batter took a good advantage.
Overall, a good first over. Went for 5 runs. At the end of 5, checked at the end of 1, scores 5 without loss.
Anika.
Did he send it? Let's see. This one. Please. have dual Kumar sisters opening the bowling. The bowling coming from the northern end is Nishka's sister Annika. Annika Kumar, pace bowler but a right-hander as compared to her sister who's a lefty. Here's Annika Kumar bowling to Bhakti Shastri.
Can I ask Fielder to sit down? Can I ask Fielder to sit down?
Across the outfield for 4, my goodness. This is what you want as a ball on the ground. You get for those shots. No reason to elevate the ball. Is outfield. It was just straight. Opening the face, running it square away on the offside for 4.
Yes.
Stroke.
Yeah, very good shot.
From Annika should be exactly that. A little bit straighter and a little bit fuller. And just when you're chasing a total which is not imposing, you can sometimes get into a shell and think, okay, I have 120 balls to score 100 runs. But if the ball is, if you have a scoring opportunity, it's an advantage to score just as though you're something much higher.
Absolutely.
Ooh,
Wide.
that was the old extra. Score is not toss. I can make 11. Everyone inside the circle. And come on, deliver, defended to square leg, and they run for a quick single. It's good cricket. Oh, and direct hit from square leg that only one stump to aim. That's an interesting piece. But of course, no chance for the run out. Another 89 runs to go for victory. Batters are Aditi, Captain Aditi Chulasama, and Bhakti Shastri. Covers, there's going to be at least a couple more. Racing close to the boundary. They'll get 2, I think that's all they'll get. Well, the way that DreamCricket has started out, it appears that they're not in any way bothered by the runs on the board. And they appear to just be playing their natural game.
They've come with a mission to hit every ball and see how they can start scoring right from the beginning.
Well played. So I don't see a big difference in the pitch now versus the pitch earlier. When the decision was made, DreamCricket won the toss and immediately decided to bowl first, which would be an indication that they would expect batting to be easier in the second half of the game. But I don't see a whole big difference in between how the pitch is playing now and how it played earlier on. I think it's just testament to their being a good batting side.
Very true. Maybe that might be strategy. Usually when you have good batting side, you want to chase, and that's in their opinion.
Okay, so the end of 15 without loss. Oh, he sent it back text. That was good in WhatsApp. That's fine. Lisa.
आदित्य दीमा बोल आओ से
So the captain is taking the bull by the horns here. Lisa Ramjit, at one point, was the leading wicket taker in the history of USA women's T20 cricket. She's now being asked to slow down the onslaught from the DreamCricket opening pair. Past up delivery and just behind for a single. Those singles, of course, are important in the context. The required rate from the stage is 4.83. The required rate is now 4.82, but the actual rate at which they're scoring is 6.46. So slower through the air, defended into the covers for no run. Lisa Ramjit relies more on accuracy and line and length more than she does pace. Here she is, just a couple steps run up, floated up in the air and defended to mid-wicket for no run. So a single to start things off, but 2 consecutive dot balls. Scored 14 with another 86 runs needed for victory. This is down behind point again. Throw coming into the keeper's end. And take those singles all day if you are DreamCricket, because the more that you're able to continue to keep the scoreboard ticking over. Of course, you're just chasing right now. You needed to score at the rate of 4.9 over. That becomes pretty simple process if you score singles. Singles will help your case if you're chasing less than run a ball. Float it through the air and cut away into the backward point area. No run. Comes into the keeper's end. And last ball, just 2 runs scored from that over so far. Scores 15. Here's the delivery through the air and cut behind point. No run. So economical overall back. At the end of the 3rd over, scored 2 with that loss. Oh, check that. 2 runs from that over. Scores 15 with that loss.
But good. Kala TV कब लेकर आया था
Attack. First delivery results in a quick single. delivery, stroked into the covers, boy, in the air for a while. But that carried for another foot or so. There could have been a catching opportunity, but as it is, just a just a dot ball. Tossed up, swept around the corner for a single. Down at square leg. Score now moves on to 17 after 3.3. 83 runs needed for victory at the rate 5-3. Tara into her first over and conceding 2 runs so far from the first 4 balls. So Lisa Ramjit's first over went for 2. Tara is now bowling and squeezing the momentum of the DreamCricket squad. So the last 11 balls have yielded 4 runs. 13 balls have yielded 4 runs. Tossed up, it's just going to be a single. That's the end of the 4th over. The end 4. And looking back at the scorecard, I put 0 right after they ran that single. So needless to say, 100% my fault. So 2 consecutive miserly overs bowled in Maryland. The first by Lisa Ramjit went for 2 runs, and then Tara's first over went for 3. So you take those 5 runs in 2 overs if you're Maryland, because if there's going to be a way to slow things down, bowling accurate, miserly is the way to get that done. Definite off stump line, slow through the air. Now this one defense maybe just a little too strong, but not it's out of the reach of that fielder short mid wicket. So it's another, the last 4 overs or last 4 of this 5th over. Slow through the air again. Oh, chopped down, just missing that off stump. Another dot ball. Can you make the argument that pressure is building here on this opening pair? Captain Aditi Chulasama who's on strike. Non-striker back to Aditi on 8 from 16. Very full, locked it in the air. Catchable opportunity gets right by mid-off. Runs away 4. Boy, that could have been a wicket. Mid-off judging. Stayed back about that could have been well in her lap. Maryland dropped. It ends up being boundaries. The total score 20. Another 7 to 8 runs needed for victory. Lisa now with 2 balls remaining in this her second over. Bit of a discussion going on now between Andy. That discussion. And backward square doesn't pick up cleanly in either end. Can't stop the total score is now 23. 5 runs so far from this. Second winner. And the wicket. Slow and back to in the air for a little bit. Good pick up in the covers. No run. So that is the end of the over. After 5, the score is 23 with a loss. After 5, this is Tara continuing into the covers. Right to the fielder down on the circle. No run.
Patience, patience.
Tossed up inside edge onto the pad.
Aditi, patience, straight bat.
Appealing for bat before wicket apparently. Was the only evidence of this being an isolated attack is the one shot that went for 4 that very easily could have been, and in all likelihood should have been taken for a catch. So this is overall very good bowling by Maryland. 3 dot balls on the trot to start the 6th. Tossed up, driven. Oh, good stop. I believe is Annika. Just putting the boot to that one to keep it from running by. So 4 consecutive dot balls. Tossed up. Make that 5 consecutive dot balls. Good cricket. And build pressure. Should be the last ball up, I believe. Tossed up. Into the, oh, get off. May run close to the boundary. They'll get 2. Don't want to when you're defending low totals, have misfields and 3 runs. Could easily have just been a single. They're conceding 2. End of 6 and away towards 25 with that loss. Another 75 runs needed. 6 overs bowled, 14 remaining. So, Mira, I'll ask you the money question again. Where's your money?
75 is an easy score, I must say. At least the way they're going. What's the
Your actual run rate at this stage is 4.17.
4.17?
They're required to score at the rate of 5.3.
Close enough. I think they have a good chance. Politically, I'm going. But
When every batter is at minimum the governor level. At minimum.
this is where they start scoring. About time now. I think it would be a good game.
So note that Lisa Ramjet is now coming on for her third over, or she's keeping herself on for the third over, which is an indication that she acknowledges that she's building pressure by bowling as miserly as she is. Now, she's only conceded 7 runs, whereas of those 7 runs was a full that been caught. I don't know if it was catch. Then obviously conceded fewer runs and should have 4 fewer runs and should have taken a wicket. So that she wants to continue building that pressure. But it also tells me that if you are the Dream Cricket squad, that you can just simply wait her out. You can get the runs off of the other, because they've not all been as accurate as Lisa has. And so all you have to do, there's no reason to take any chances. You just have to simply let the best bowler in the lineup do what that best bowler is going to do in terms of being limiting the scoring, but then you still have options to get runs from the other bowlers.
Right. That's a good pull. Good fielding as well there.
Good strong throw. Stevie, yet another member of the side that has no prior relationship with cricket.
Wow.
Until she picked it up and started playing.
Excellent.
Which again is a huge testament to the work that they've done here with this club, and particularly in Maryland. It's something that, regardless of the result of this match, something that she should definitely be proud of.
Wow, that's amazing.
So a couple of singles. That is moving up to 27. Lisa only with 9. Slow there, late. Oh, gets right through the fielder at slip. Throw into. So Maryland girls not doing themselves any here with the misfield and the drop chance. Like this. I mentioned earlier that par is about 90. I think it's proper taking advantage of scoring to be able to get you 100 on this wicket. And so for a powerful batting side, which is what Dream Cricket is, I would anticipate that they'll continue to push on towards victory. And again, even if you have the captain bowling as miserly as she is, you'd expect that eventually the runs will start flowing. Yes, no. That will be ultimately a no. That is the end of Lisa Ramjet's third over.
7 overs, 28 runs.
7 overs, 28 runs. So you don't need to be a banker or a valuation specialist to do that work or that math. 7 overs, 28 runs, scoring at a rate of.
Yeah.
The required rate from here, 5.54. Bearing in mind that Lisa Ramjet has 1 over remaining. Does she bowl herself out here, or does she keep that 1 over in her back pocket for, in the slim chance that she'll need another miserly over later on? That's something to pay attention to as we go throughout this match.
Right. I think if they have a good bowling lineup, I would say it is good to keep it in this let all the bowlers get in their balls. I'm so used to saying batsman. This is going my
gray hairs are not fake.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way.
Color.
No ball.
No, I don't think so.
No, it shouldn't have been no ball. Well, when you spent 54 years saying bats, it becomes very difficult to say batter.
I'm telling you, it is so tough for me. I have to mentally prepare myself before I can start saying these words.
Now, do I understand the reason why that is now the thinking? Absolutely. You want to make sure that the game appears to be as inclusive as possible. And cricket does have a history of being very heavily men at the expense of women, so I fully get the reason you wanted to do that.
I truly get that as well. But I think to set your mind into this is very difficult. And it's great.
So here is the question for you.
Oh, here's another political one.
No, this is a pretty straightforward one. We're going away from batsmen to batters, going away from man of the match to player of the match. How long before we stop calling it third and then calling it third person?
You know, I talk hard.
Nothing political
No.
can come.
Yeah.
I found the one answer that cannot be political about, which I'm pretty proud of.
I'm weighing, Brian, before I say something.
Gone.
Oh.
Oh, that's the reason why that thing was missed is because she ran her stumps with her glove but without the ball in her hand. It really was out of her crease, I believe. But the fact is that you ran, of course, we don't have a replay. Looking at it live, my impression was that the ball was out of her hand before she broke the stumps,
Yes, that's true.
which is a good piece of umpiring. So, it's always easy to criticize umpires when they don't do well.
Hey, it's a tough one.
It is a really, really tough gig,
Yep.
but when an umpire makes the correct decision, you have to acknowledge it. And I think umpire Qureshi there did the exact right thing.
Perfect. And then mine.
And she's tossing that ball up, tempting and teasing. She eventually got Annika to go for the bait, or Aditi rather, to go for the bait.
Yep.
And unfortunately for her, Arna not able to have the stumping completed. But you could certainly argument that that's one way to try to get back into the game is just throw that card there. Invite them to go,
Hit the
as
ball.
we say,
Yep.
go fishing.
Yep. Attempt. You know, it is. I think once you connect it, that would be wonderful. And deliveries are always hit or miss.
Well, I can tell you, I hate spin. Just spin of any kind. You come at me miles an hour. I cannot handle these balls that are flight and then tossed up in the air and just by the boundary, resulting in 2. We and I may be out of saying this. Our history is that we don't handle spin very well.
Yeah. So we to our coach is a Brazilian coach, and when he coaches, he's always telling us, he's always telling my players, go for the hit it.
Yeah.
And that's always that. So he says, that's all we do. We just go for the ball.
So here's the idea. And by the way, bowling. This is another of our good piece of work, keeping side. But that's another prior association with the sport. Obviously, you and I both know skills to reproduce later in life if you've done it before. Bowling is about the hardest thing that you can do. It's easy to teach a 4-year-old to bowl. Teaching a 14-year-old to bowl is much, much, much harder.
Of course.
And so the fact is that Jenna is now bowling
It's
in a
amazing.
final. Just the fact that she's playing is amazing enough. Jenna and Uren, but being able to bowl and get the ball just anywhere close to the right line and length is a huge test.
Yeah.
Developed as a cricket.
Amazing. Really good.
There was another young lady yesterday, plays for NYCL Daredevils. Brooke is her name. Brooke is from Michigan. Brooke started playing cricket 6 months ago.
Wow.
The last game yesterday, opened the batting, bowled first change.
Amazing.
I will tell you that is so impressive for the reasons stated earlier.
Of course.
My own kids, well, I have 2 sons. One of my sons both play football. One plays professional, the other is in high school. Who is in high school? Cricket, still loves it, but eventually had to, the easier pathway to play is in soccer and not cricket. At least there today.
Yeah.
But being able to have his friends at his age level and in his circle in which he moves, to be able to get the ways to have them start playing, that to me is a much steeper hill to climb and a much greater achievement when you have players of that
Caliber.
That caliber, yes, but that background, who have no prior association with the sport. It's really easy to get my son to play cricket because I grew up breathing it.
True.
It's much difficult to get somebody who has no prior affiliation with the sport to be able to play it. So I often anybody who's playing cricket grow up playing it.
So I have a couple of players in the team who are baseball players, softball players, but they wanted to try out cricket. Here they are, with the team.
Fantastic.
It's amazing. You just tell them because the technique is something which they need to learn. Once they learn the technique, I think they can do really well.
Several years ago, I don't know if you've ever heard of a coach named Julian Fountain. You ever heard of Julian Fountain?
No, I recollect.
Julian, the skill to be a player very similar to the skill to be a good cricketer. So I don't remember the player's last name. I think it might have been first Boomer, or is former baseball player. And Julian took it on as a challenge to teach this baseball player how to play cricket, and worked with him in the nets for 6 months, something along those lines. And Boomer got to the point where he could actually play in a league. You wouldn't necessarily be looking to play on the international level. But that's a whole lot of years worth of baseball to have to untrain. But the biggest issue for baseball players to be able to play cricket is that they're not accustomed to the ball coming directly to them.
Yeah.
Cricketer, the ball coming directly to you, they'll step into the line with this way.
Yeah.
A baseball player instinctively backs away from it. They like the ball out here.
Yeah.
But he actually was able to take Homer Collins and show him how to, if the ball is coming directly to you, that's actually a scoring opportunity. And if you have the strength of a baseball player, bang, it easily becomes a huge hit. This is lofted, couple bounces down to wide mid-off. That's a single. By the way, in the game that we're actually following, are supposed to be following, score is now 34, make that 35 without loss. That required rate is actually sneaking upward just a little bit. Required rate is now exactly at 6. So look, there is time for either team to take control of this game. Overs could easily have that required rate up to 7.5, and then if you're DreamCricket, you're hesitant to, you're in a bit of a bind. And if you're Maryland, wickets among the pigeons. But if you're DreamCricket, your priority is just to make sure no dot balls build up. So pulled just to Jenna's left. That could have, good stop on the boundary.
Between.
Running between the wickets, I will tell you, a wicket here may not be 3 in a row, or a couple of overs. Could make sense. It'll be interesting to see how it develops from here.
Yeah.
Oh. That should be all they'll get.
Throw.
So 5 runs so far from the 10th, if I am not mistaken. So they need another 61 runs in 10.3 overs. And how this over is closed out, I think, will have a lot to do with the result of this match. Ooh, look at this. Potentially an opportunity for a run there, but you're not quite at suicidal run stage just yet. So another dot ball. The last 2. And I suspect that we'll have a quick after this over. Is not necessarily, but it's very sticky.
For us, this is hard. We buzz, I would say. Just
When I left home, that's never ever run on the misfield, the coaches will tell you. When I left home last on Monday, but the high today was 108.
oof.
So this is pleasant. As long as this is pleasant.
I would agree because the breeze is helping a lot. Good throw. No, I think that was very safe.
Yeah. Okay, so umpire says not out, which is again something that you want to teach our non-traditional cricket friends about. The umpire's word is final.
The final.
There
I
is
was
no
just about to say
arguing
that.
with the umpire, none whatsoever.
I was just about to say that.
And so there we have it. At the end of 10, championship to play for. They require 61 runs from the next 60 balls. That is a pretty straightforward equation. And we'll see what happens in the next few minutes. And some
Yeah.
some presentable.
Like this.
Or I bought myself like that.
Jeez,
So I'll
should
replace
I- No. Actually, it's the to say come like this. Should have You don't even have to. Very well. No. US. I mean,
Okay.
it's
Long sleeve white shirt.
you have a jacket.
I did. But I'll take it.
Return it. Have-
It's good. Free to do that. I'll leave it at
Ah.
we now.
Yes.
And we'll see last name here.
SU.
Romanian.
Yeah.
M-A-N.
NIA. M. Subramaniam.
Okay, got it. Perfect.
I put you in mind.
Good. Perfect.
Think
What's that?
about the dress code.
Again, never be a concern. You look perfectly fine.
At least my dad.
It's no.
No.
Plus, you have the pedigree of professional cricket.
It
So
does not matter.
that alone speaks for itself. So you don't need anything else. Little old me, who nobody here has ever heard of.
You're the important one.
Oh, you're right.
And you're telling me that you're going to wear a jacket and hair. I'm thinking, please look at me like a slut standing there, like, it looks so bad. Oh, standing right next to you. You're with a
You
jacket
will
and all
be
that, and
fine.
me like this.
I promise you you'll be fine.
Jeez. We'll be all in social media. Can you imagine? Like this? Oh my God. Now you're making me think. I know I'm going to ask them to bring my pants so that I can at least change to my jeans.
You were fine. You're absolutely fine. Okay, so where are we now? So are they going? Assuming they're going to wait until all these matches are finished before.
Yes, I would think so. And I think they brought in the food,
Okay.
so soon they'll be doing that as well.
So what's the official start time of the event?
I was told at 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
Yeah. It's
Ambitious.
very ambitious. I have no idea. What? Ambitious.
In
Yes.
and around all of this, I have a plane to 8 o'clock. So and I have been instructed to not miss my flight.
Flight.
So fly into. I get home tonight about midnight.
Uh-huh.
I have to be in Prairie View for 8 o'clock.
Wow.
So put a quick in, sleep for 4 hours.
Are you going to sleep? Get some.
I'm a stay up. I'm not a vampire.
I know.
So I'm definitely going to have tomorrow's going to be 2 games noon, and then I'll sleep Saturday night, and then 2 more games Sunday games, and then I get
Wow. Busy.
to the field in Prairie View is exactly 2 hours from my house.
That's a long one. 2 hours. Are you going to be driving or something?
Oh yeah,
else is out?
I'll drive. Which is why
Don't
I need
fall
that
asleep.
sleep. Which is why I need
Sleep.
tonight. Yes. No, I'll say this. I'll sleep on the plane. I have to sleep on the
Yeah.
plane. It's about a 3-hour flight.
There are many people who can't fall asleep, So
Oh.
if you're the one who can fall asleep, perfect.
Times I fall asleep before the plane even takes off.
Oh,
Sometimes.
that shows that your body can take only only so much.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
I had downtime. I'm working and I do other stuff too.
Mhm.
Teach coordinator and everything. So we do a lot of fundraising. And I have also a non-profit which I support. And do is it's really people coming from
Somebody bowling or
from
some
the
no name in there
South
in their
African countries
chart. You let me know, okay?
have anything
We'll stop right away.
to start off with.
Okay.
So we
Apparently,
want
one
this
girl she wasn't
education.
in. The
We
top
have
man
to
was
give
in,
us line
and now she's gonna
we
come
have
in after 9 hours. She's
to
bowling.
something just that,
Okay.
so that they get
If anything
these
goes wrong, you let me know.
basics and they know
What's
that
her
they are.
I will tell you.
And then we
If
also
you don't see-
say, okay, if you're in.
Can you?
into
Is there any way you
accounting
could
or
see the
into
previous
computer
stuff?
science, we'll give you the hardware, so
How-
depending on where you want to, and then try to help them with the counties and to support them
Okay.
to find a
Anything goes,
job.
let me know.
So that's
Wow.
I do that as well,
It's
and then
fantastic.
people for the Worcester County, people who come out of
They need 61 and
they
61.
don't know how to save, what to save, right? So
Yeah.
I help those people to educate
Fantastic.
them and make them come to the bank, open
It is
accounts, and tell them,
so
listen,
important.
we have to give back. I feel if we have the ability to pass on that knowledge, we should. That's one thing which I'm big
I think I'm heavy enough that this will not be going anywhere.
and we can't go forward because
Correct,
we are
because
in
then
the
we'll be
border.
a mid long on.
We might be at the wicket keeping.
We have already encroached.
I know.
First slip, second slip, third slip, fourth slip right here.
I can be there. Put me on third man. I can't run. I want to run.
There I said.
With the chair. Oh yeah, perfect. I can do that.
So here's the answer to our question. Lisa Ramjet has brought it on for her last over. The dice recognizes the need to get a wicket and to slow scoring down. Right to ball on wicket. Captain rolls the dice and comes up trumps. First wicket goes down is Aditi.
Fantastic catch there at point. I think she had very well calculated her bowling strategy, and she did an awesome job where she lifted her bat, she right into her arms, right into her hands, right there.
Ball consistent line outside of off stump. But
Yeah.
not just outside off stump, very wide outside off stump. She's asking the players to hit in that direction.
Right.
And finally, one of them took the bait. Captain Aditi went for it. And I believe it was Aditi. No, sorry, it was
Who was
Avni.
Avni?
Avni.
Avni coming in?
Avni's coming in. So
Okay.
the batter who was out
Who was
was
the batter? Who? Excuse me. Excuse me. Who was the batter? Who was out?
okay. So that was Aditi. So
Yeah.
Aditi is the one who was out. Bhakti is now the non-striker. And finally, Aditi took the bait that was offered to her by Ram. First wicket goes down. A little bit more being shown in the pitch now. Oh, looking to pull this one away. I think that is now in. Scored 39 for 1, and the look of excitement now is Captain And Lisa Ramjet has brought herself back on and taken the wickets. Looking for a big hit over mid wickets. 3 second balls, one of which was a wicket. So good last over here being bowled by Lisa Ramjet. And lofted down the ground. This is Jenna coming across from mid-on. Quick pick up and throw back in, so a single. 2 balls remaining here in the spell. Scores 46 needed. The required rate is now above 6. Let's keep an eye on that as we go forward here. Slow it through the air. Oh, leaving that alone. Great over. 1 ball remaining. Let's see here. In fact, Lisa Ramjet now remarking her run up for the last ball of her spell. Here we are. In the air and gone! Driven straight to cover. And Anika Kumar puts that one away. Lisa Ramjet coming back into the attack. 2 wickets, the first and last balls of her final over. And all of a sudden, Dream Cricket is 40 for 2.
Absolutely beautiful catch. Right on, spot on, just in terms of her bowling, and the batter did give in to this particular ball, and could have played ground, but or defend a little, that would have helped. But it's okay, we have still lined up batters coming in, so let's hope that they can pick up based on the bowling skills out here.
If you were Dream Cricket,
Another political question here, Brian?
not at all. This is a political statement. In fact, a very non-political statement.
All right,
actually.
let's go for it.
Ball you've seen all day has 1 ball remaining. You have one job at that point, just to not get out. And whether you defend it, or whether if it's far enough outside off stump, whether you just let it go through to the keeper, you just have to make sure that you don't get out from that last ball. So I think that just in terms of a player's development and a team's development, that might be something that coach might want to discuss with them. Let's just have some more situational awareness. Let's understand the greater context. She at one point was the leading wicket taker in the history of the USA Women's T20 cricket, so she's a very good bowler.
Right.
Likely the best bowler that you see all day. You have one job. Your job is just not to get out to her, and that just should be something I think that they can work on understanding.
Right. I think that's very well said, and doesn't look like it's appeal right there. But it's
very loud but simple appeal.
Yep.
From here, I didn't hear anything. I didn't see a deflection, so I don't think that was in any way out. But sometimes, with the exuberance of youth and just having taken a couple wickets, you appeal for literally anything.
Put some pressure on the umpires.
I stopped playing for years and I was an umpire, and that's the last thing that you want to do is just to intentionally try to pressure me, because then you're not going to get anything at that point. Continuing tempting, teasing flight to deliveries. There she is again. Oh, such a teaser. That was close. That came, I think, off of the shoulder of the batter. But again, tempting and teasing. I'll tell you what, if I am the Maryland girls, I would bowl Arna here.
Yeah.
I would force them to hit her. And if they're not showing to hit her, they'll ability that she has to build that pressure. And this is just going to be 2, I think. Nope, went all the way for 4.
Ah,
4 runs releases a lot of that pressure. Arna, of course, teasing the flight delivers, but if she drops it short, then you lose the advantage of having that flight and that guile.
I think connecting is so important on a flight to delivery. Temptations are very high. For And the nice thing I see the batter is doing is she waits for the ball,
Yes.
and then it's really and well shot there. It was a very nice pull both the times.
I think you're right. So, very economical over. Very economical over. That was bowled by Lisa. By an over where 6 runs were scored. So the score is now 46 for 2. We're at 12. I want to keep an eye on that required run rates. The required rate to 6.75. And this is
Eleni.
The umpire is looking for.
Eleni. TH, right? Eleni. There is no Eleni. It starts with T.
Tillany.
Tillany.
Yeah, Tillany.
Yeah.
That was a challenge here.
Yeah.
Is it a T or
Yeah.
a he or a?
So, Tillany Don is the new bowler. First time that I've seen her bowl this week, and I believe, or this week, I lose track of what day it is.
You've been traveling so much,
Yes.
and you have been watching in the commentators box all through. Sure, it's confusing.
To say nothing of the fact that the week before last, I watching Bangladesh.
Oh wow, that is amazing. Or
It's the time of the year where
yeah, and that must have been an awesome experience for you,
fantastic,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
The ball, ultimate wicket. Might be 2 if they run hard. Yep, that should be 2. Good running. The throw coming into the keeper, or not strikers end rather. So that is now 48. Another 52 runs needed, bearing in mind, of course, that the target is 100.
Like the way how the striker is taking advantage of all these the bowling
Yes.
and making runs out there for the team.
Ooh.
It's by wrong.
Umpire by.
Yes.
Going.
Bye. Hello.
No signal.
Yes.
Should be by. He didn't signal, but
Bye. Fire. Bye. Fire.
correction.
Bye.
Is it by?
Is it bye or a bat?
It's like, hi, yes, but I'm in the middle of the match right now.
Oh, we all go into a trance at times.
Sure. Ooh, interesting delivery. Be a little bit of turn on that. And there's a wide. Wow.
Good call.
It's one single, only one. White plus bat.
So the batters, Avni and Delkash. Leg spin is a really difficult art to learn. So any
Yes.
young bowler who can bowl leg spin,
This is
I have
kudos to them. Right.
tremendous amount of respect for.
Yes.
But then to bowl leg spin in a scenario like this, knowing that every extra is going to hurt your side, that just takes a tremendous amount of courage. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful delivery.
Good shot.
Good
And
job by Jenna.
good fielding. Yeah.
So just 2 balls remaining here in the 13th. Score is 52.
It's amazing to see the fields out here. 6 of them, and
Yes.
all the fields are busy now.
Should ball. Yep. Gonna be a no ball and 4. So no ball, free hit. That changes things tremendously.
Yes.
So 4 runs from the bat.
Awesome shot.
Great shot. Full tosses can sometimes be the most difficult balls to put away.
Very true. Connecting those are not easy many a times. You
Yep.
miss it. And she took full advantage of it, and she did an awesome of pulling it through.
Yep.
A good 4 indeed.
And now, of course, here is, because of the fact that it is a free hit and the same batter is on strike, you cannot change the field has to remain the exact same as it was before. So here's a free hit delivery. Oh, good piece of bowling. What a driving.
Yes.
Should be 1 ball remaining, I think.
Yeah, she's distracted.
Fly. I can't see it. I don't see anything
Anything,
in
yeah.
this direction. Here's the last ball. She has to finish out strong here. Good ball. Great delivery. Exactly where she needs it to be. So that is the end of the over. 4 runs coming, or sorry, 11 runs coming from left. 27 coming from the last 5. Score is now 57. Now 4 to 3 needed for victory.
Bowling now?
This will be. Is that Mishka? It's kind of hard to see from here.
Bowler name.
I'm not sure. It's kind
We
of hard
need to
see.
ask.
Right.
Emma. Bowler's name.
Annika. Okay. Picked the wrong sister. So Annika coming back into the attack. Annika on the board, 1 over so far, give up 8 runs. One of your better bowlers in the side though, so I would think that she would bowl overs 14, 16, and 18. Missing a run up.
Thank you. start walking across, they get distracted.
I would agree with you.
They don't realize the impact.
Oh, this won't be an issue this time because the bowling is coming from the direction. Your point is, ooh, what ball?
Bowling.
So you are the captain of the bowling side right now. What are you saying to your bowlers?
Keep it tight. Simple.
Really, that's it. The ball.
Wow.
Wow.
To get her to do an LB there.
You kind of had a risk playing across that straight ball. Just
Yeah.
she was definitely an LBW candidate had that missed.
Yep. And I think she's doing a super job of, watching the ball. I mean, very confident in how she's playing. And she got a run in that as well. The bowler now knows. I hope.
Let's see if she repeats the same type
Yes.
of delivery. There it is. Oh, in the air. Landing short on the hand throw. I tell you what, that hit, it would have been well and truly out, but it does result in a single. Oh, a bit of excitement there.
Absolutely.
Wow. Of course, everybody's nerves are a little bit frayed at this point because you're coming toward the business end of the tournament.
Yes.
6 overs remaining after this one. So basically 6 overs and 3 balls left.
That's now the batting side should put more pressure
Yep.
in it right now.
Oh, good throw. So 60 is the score. Another 40 needed in 6 overs and 2 balls. So the required rate is 6.32. You're still needing to score at more than a run ball.
Right.
Stumps at the announcement look like the leaning tower of Pisa.
Yes. It's not able to stay there.
No. Yeah, those all need to be about an 8.
I think one thing I observe, and I have been observing over all these tournaments which are happening, is parents from outside giving advice to the children, when they are on the field. That is very distracting for the child.
100% agree with you.
And there should be somewhere that restriction should be posed where, the coach is and the captain, it's up to them to decide how they want to do things when they are on the fields.
I don't do much coaching anymore. I used to coach when I used to play.
Yeah.
But one of the rules I used to have is this full driven back for no run. One of the rules would be in the context of you raising your child.
Yeah.
When your child is at home
Yeah.
or going to school or out on the streets, then you tell them anything you need to tell them.
Right.
In the context of this cricket match, the only person who talks is me.
Yeah.
And anything other than that, we're going to have a problem. Ball.
And I tell my team every time they are on the fields, it's your captain. You're not going to be talking to anyone else. The captain is the best judge. If she needs advice, she would go with the coach at that point.
Correct.
So I think the decision should be made within the team, and the parents should just and actually enjoy their children playing. Give them that opportunity once they are in.
And I'll take it a step further.
Yep.
I told you that both my sons are soccer.
Yes.
My younger son just changed teams relatively recently in the last year. He used to play for an academy club. Academy's rule is this. Number one, you can cheer for your son when in the middle of the game. Absolutely no verbs should be used at all. That's rule number one.
Excellent. I
Rule
like
number
that.
two, you don't ever coach your child.
Correct.
And I don't mean during the game. I mean not even at home.
At home. Yeah.
There is one set of coaching that child is going to get. I don't care if you just played the World Cup final
Yep.
for Mexico or for
does not
US
matter.
or for Chile or Italy. There's one coach that this child has, and it is this person right here.
Absolutely.
So-
I
You can feel free to say, hey, you give effort out there.
agree.
Ma'am. What do you...
Ball on name, Lisa.
Walk across the middle of the pitch.
People amaze me.
I've seen people walk in the back and distract the back. I've never seen
Walk right. What is she doing there?
third umpire.
Do we need one?
Ooh.
Oh. Good run. Running between.
Take a when you get.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so only 37 runs needed. And balls in which to get them. Is Tolina continuing? The scorer is acknowledging before the umpire has made a signal. Overly enthusiastic score.
He's top. Good job, score.
Ooh, tempted stumping. Wow, look at this. A good piece of bowling. Tossed up the liver. And it results in a stumping.
This is
Yet another twist.
Yes, this is exactly what I was just telling you. Tempting but connecting is something which is very, very important.
Wow. So do we have another twist in this match? The score is now 14.3 overs. Urena. Tossed up delivery. There's a little bit of
Wicket keeper
pressure.
coming in now.
Coming to the wicket is
Aparna.
Aparna. Wow.
I was talking to Aparna, and just a little bit of a trivia the other day. I was just sitting and talking to her, and I said, "So, what's going on in your mind?" She goes, "Auntie, I'm just going to go hit. I don't care. I'm
Wow.
just going to hit." She was so confident, and
Wow.
that's what I like about these
Wow.
these youngsters who are so bold in what they want and how they want to do it and achieve it. I said, "You go, girl."
You know, one or two luster blows changes the entire equation in this match.
Yeah.
Now, what she needs to do, I love the confidence.
Yeah.
She just needs to not pick the wrong ball to or absolutely throw the kitchen sink at it. That's why you're there.
Yeah.
You have a bat in your hand,
Right.
but you don't want to convert a bad ball into a good ball into a bad.
Correct. I agree.
So let's see how that attitude translates to the rest of this innings. Oh, in the air! Didn't carry all the way to the square. agonizingly long time, but ultimately they get a single.
So now these pads kind of puzzle me. I'm so used to seeing only whites and wearing only whites.
You are
Nothing but white.
You're preaching to the choir. You're preaching to the choir. I don't even like playing with white balls. It's white uniform, red balls. I don't even like the names on the backs of jerseys.
Yes, it's so distracting, I think. The colors also.
Yeah. We've now reached the get off my lawn portion of this broadcast. Last ball, the score is 64. Big swing and a miss. Ball to close things out here in the 15th. So 5 overs remaining. You know what? I think we should probably move. There's a catch that comes this way and it hits the roof. That could easily be an field of play. Oh no!
It's like this is looking good.
That's
Perfect.
Good?
Yes, that's perfect. Thank you.
the last 5 is Arna continuing. Ooh, that's too short. And down the leg. No. This is wide. It would have been no ball if it bounced more than twice. Wide down the leg side. Just needs to toss this ball up on off stump and pull. Pull down the corner. They've gotten 1, they come back for 2. So 2 runs. 1 ball so far in the 3 more runs. Keeping an eye on that part is now 1. 3 runs from 9. 3 wickets, and you would say that favors the batting side. But again, 1 or 2 wickets here can make a big difference. Arna continuing this over. Eagle delivers left. Tossed up. That's the ball she needs to bowl. Maybe just a fuller, but that line is one that will always trouble the batter. Again, if it's too short, then you haven't tossed it up in the first place. So 2 more runs. The deficit is now 31. You need another 31 from 28.
And an excellent throw too.
Very good throw in the deep.
Boundary line.
Yep, completely. So interesting that that same fielder who threw from the deep, I believe that is actually, I can't see who that is, but you'd like to think that that person just came in 5 yards looking to cut down doubles. Outside off, again another wide. So we are now at the point where we need DreamCricket another 30 runs. So you're 70% of the way there. required rate of 6.43. Tossed up delivery. Oh, that stayed a little low. That's a good piece of keeping too by Irena.
Very flighted delivery indeed.
I absolutely love the flight. Just think the yard fuller. I think you want to have the batters coming forward. Having them be able to on the leg side is not what you want bowling like that.
Beautiful fielded.
Wow.
And a very good throw indeed.
There's 2 balls remaining here. 16, 29 runs needed from 26 balls. Swing and a miss to 9 from 25 balls.
How you doing?
Back to parents talk.
Yeah.
Match.
Absolutely.
And last ball. And that's catchable. Make it all the way. Oh, she did get it all the way down there, but she came in too far. Misjudged it, and it went for 4. So that's the second catch that has been dropped in similar fashion. Mid off
24,
down
25.
here, dropped the
24.
and this happened on this occasion. Jenna came running in just a little too far, misjudging that ball.
And
Unfortunately for her, it goes away for 4.
I think it's also, you know, if you look at the sun, it's just right over. I think she would have missed that by a split. That she was almost right under the ball, and it would have been a good catch if she had taken that.
Don't forget also, that's also a pretty high pressure catch.
Yes.
And if the ball, if I'm in the situation and it's, I want to catch the ball directly at me, maybe in the slips or backward point, I want it in the air. Because you have all the time in the world to think, what happens if I drop? Oh my God, to make fun of me. I don't want that. So that those pressure definitely tend to be difficult.
It is always that thing which keeps working in your mind, right?
Yep.
It's when it's in the air.
Yep.
I gotta get it. I gotta get it.
So back into the attack, outside off. Just did a pirouette trying to find where the scorer was. We literally just in the same line. We literally just moved back a yard. Boy, that was delivery. Stroke just past Jenna. Diving attempt. Not able to control it. So another single. You are DreamCricket at this stage. Take them in ones if you have to. Required rate now. A run up. 23 runs needed. 23. Uh-oh. Oh no. You know what? In this downtime, talk about how important it is for athletes, particularly athletes who spend a lot of time in the sun. How important is it to be hydrated?
Oh.
And what would be your recommendation for routine for an athlete?
Well, I think number one, they all the heated waters cut. That should be completely cut, and I think constantly should be their best friend. And under these circumstances, they should always be taking. And I think, the breaks are helping them, and there are some quenchers which I think do help to a certain extent, which is energy drinks. But I'm a big advocate of just drinking water. Drink as much as you can and keep hydrated. Many I'm seeing they don't drink as much water. They drink 2 sips and then that's pretty much it.
Yep.
I think this should become a regime.
Yep.
In practice, if they start doing that during practice sessions, I think, when they are on the field, they will realize how important it is for them.
So I heard recently that you should drink in ounces of per day, weight in pounds. So
Okay.
in other words, if you weigh 160 pounds, you need to drink 6 ounces of water a day. That feels excessive to me, but at least that's the mindset. One mistake I've seen athletes make is, okay, I have a big game this weekend. Let me start hydrating on Friday. Hydration is a daily or
Yes.
an ongoing regimen. It shouldn't just be right before a big game.
Absolutely. I think it's a part of practice. It starts right at practice. You need to start getting into a habit of doing that.
So 7 to 8 for 3 with 2 overs or 4 overs rather. Make that 3 overs and 4 balls remaining. Back to 3 overs and 5 balls because the last 2 deliveries have been wides. Score now moves up to 7 to 9. Just another 21 runs to go, and the required rate is now under
6.
which is important.
Yes.
Run a ball gets you there. Too short and a little too wide. So, unfortunately, and I don't know whether or not this is related to the apparent injury that Jenna just suffered, but she's not able to locate the ball on the stuff. 20 more runs needed. The score is now 80.
This is going to cost
Side and probably 2 additional runs.
run along. Yeah.
No ball, a bye, and a free hit, if I understood all that properly. All of a sudden, it's turning into a very expensive over here for Jenna.
Yes.
Good ball, good delivery. I don't
That
know
came
that the
rising.
batter. Yes, it did. I don't know
Yeah.
that the batter knew that was a free hit. She didn't really look like going after it.
No. That's true.
Anyway, so the score 82, just another 18 runs needed. The required rate under 5. On the side and then wide. That one was a lot closer. Maybe just a stumped inside. Like
I think always injuries kind of distract you,
yes.
in regards to your length and line.
Good ball.
And very well placed.
Good throw.
So I think this is where I would say, they have to talk. If you see in the batters between each other.
Yes.
So this has been a 2 had spoken.
Correct.
There we go.
are throwing the ball.
Common
Watching.
errors, but nobody.
Yeah.
was
Nobody
hurt by that.
attempted. Surprised.
Yeah.
You know, there has to be some kind of a communication and take a lead start.
Good ball. That is the best ball that's rolled all day.
Umpire, one more ball. Umpire, one more ball.
Yeah.
Good ball.
Very good throw.
Good throw, single to close here in the 7th. 3 overs, 15 runs. Pretty easy equation.
Clouds taking over now a little bit.
Yes.
The breeze is, I feel it has increased since morning.
I
Don't you
agree.
think so?
I completely agree.
Yeah.
But again, all of this is like October to me.
October. Oh,
when I
wow.
go home, I'll go back into actual heat. So,
I can't say that for Boston.
85. 3 overs to go, 15 runs to get.
Jenna is out.
I would think so. It appears, yes. And those are parents walking.
So who's the new bowler?
Tara.
Tara.
So Arna is done. Tara. Tara's bowled 2 overs for 5 runs. So she's bowling over number 18, and if needed, probably number 20 as well. Good delivery. The bowler knocked her over. The off stump line that we talked about earlier, that's the line that you need to stay on. And if you get that line and bowl a full length, that resolves 75% of your problems as a bowler.
Yes, that's true. Bowling is an art. People have to get the length and line, and there are times when they get distracted.
Yep.
You know, one ball they put a one, and they lose their confidence. I think that's when the captain should come in and kind of encourage the bowler such that they are not discouraged by the first ball going in as a white. That way it's not a repeat. Who's the batsman? Who's the batter? I'm sorry? Sainavi. Sainavi is here now.
Sainavi. Interesting to look at the field that is being set. Nobody's sweeping on the offside. Lisa Ramjet, captain, is in the covers right at the edge of the circle. There is a short cover, extra cover, maybe 20 yards away from the bat. Put it off, inside the circle. Looking for the big hit. Not there. Mid wicket being able to control that. So a couple of dot balls to start here, one of which took a wicket. Keep an eye on the required rate. It's now 5.63. Another 15 runs needed from 16 balls. But a couple of wickets can make all the difference in the world. conversely, a couple of solid blows can take the intrigue out of this game. Anything can happen from here. Stay tuned. Good delivery. This.
Excellent throw.
Wow. Now just look at the field again. Imagine yourself now positioned at that short extra cover position. Point is 10 yards away from the bat. And let's maybe call it a wide gully.
Yep.
It's also about 10 yards away from the bat. Short, fine leg. Mid-wicket is starting one. Everyone pressuring here. Good delivery again. Stroke past that fielder at mid-wicket. Do they get two? No, they will not get two. But I like to see that they ran hard. Ran that first one hard. Fielding side. 14 more needed now from exactly.
I see.
For catch.
Nope.
Ooh.
I thought that was a
Not
snake
moved.
too. I thought that was a snake.
Definitely heard a noise. I don't know that it sounded like wood
Yeah.
or like ball and bat. Very easy. It was a very dull noise. It could have been the bat against the turf, is what I would think. But as
Very
an umpire,
hard.
you have to make sure that you're sure before you give that. So if you're delivery stumps, throw that. So now stop commentating and started coaching. That is the end of the over. One run from that over. Brilliant over by Tara.
I agree.
Will she be needed to bowl the 20th is the question. Because that run rate now snuck up above 6 again. 14 runs needed just from the last 12 balls.
And I think the bowler coming back with the last
Should be Anika, I
over.
believe.
Anika. So Anika has this last over. I think she's taking.
Her last over, obviously the penultimate over of the innings. Generally in this 2 overs left. Generally in this situation, you want your best bowler to bowl this over, the penultimate over.
Correct.
Because you want to leave as many runs to get in the final over as possible. So Anika, who is one of the better players in the side, but remember we talked earlier about what so was going to save herself that one over. She did not do that. So now the challenge is over. Can you bowl where you only concede 4 or 5 runs? Leave them 9 or 10 hits in the last over. In the next few minutes. In the air, struck well. That's
That
probably
was
going to be
a
2.
No, it's not going to go for a 4.
Coming into the strikers. So that's a good start to the over for DreamCricket. Just another 12 to get. Runs, or 11 rather.
I think the games is still going on everywhere.
Wow.
It's 1:35.
12 from 11. It's going to be finished. Anika, now can she fire that Yorker in right on the leg stump? A wicket here changes things tremendously.
Will she be able to take it? That is the question.
the equation tremendously. First 2 balls of the 19th over have yielded 6 runs.
That was an excellent batting. She did a perfect job of connecting the ball and sweeping it off on the onside. Onside, I'm sorry.
8 balls, 10 balls, 8 runs.
Wow.
Sitting inside.
In the air, catchable, running around from mid-off, and oh, she drops it. And they'll get 2. No, they'll get 1. Now there's confusion.
And she
And she made it. So 2 runs. Oh, another catch brings the target within 6. All of a sudden, Dream Cricket is 6 runs away from victory with still 3 balls remaining. She did the hard part. It was never easy running in that direction for those skies.
absolutely. She did a very good attempt. It was a very good attempt.
So,
That. I think she's tempting them to play up in the air so that they can get some catches over. So let's hope that she's spoken to the team
yes.
to be.
Full right outside off stump, but not giving us wide by the umpire. So dot ball. Can she close out the remaining 2 deliveries without having conceded any more runs? Still a fighter's chance if you go into the last over needing 6 or 5. I think 4 or less, and then the money should be with Dream Cricket. But a strong finish is here is what Anika needs. Another dot ball, consecutive dot balls after having given up 6 runs in the first 3 balls of the innings, 8 runs rather, in the first 3 balls of the over. The last 2 have been dot balls. It is imperative that she closes out strong here. There are about 17 coaches around the field right now yelling instructions.
I was just looking around too, and I was just about to say that.
Yep. In the air, that's going to be 1 bounce. Oh, batted down by the fielder. Come back for a second. No, they won't.
That
Tell
was
you
a
what.
very good throw.
Very
good judgment.
throw. Good judgment. 1 run. Over started out relatively expensively. She closes strong. 1 the last 3 balls over. 5 runs separate Dream Cricket from victory. 5
Very,
runs.
very exciting.
4 to draw, 5 to win.
5 to win, 4 to draw, says the scorer here.
95. 95. Last over.
5 runs to win.
That's all he wanted to know.
Yes.
How many runs to win?
The strike rate is 87.25. That's not what I'm asking you.
I need to know how many runs we want.
So, is it going to be Tara who bowls? Do you dare give this over to a spinner? Or do you go back to Neymar? Nope, you're going to stay with Tara, it looks like. Oh, anything can happen here. Tara 3 overs, 1 for 6. Her last over, she only
Let's see how she can hold it and here on the left.
one.
Let's go.
That's all they'll get is that one. Oh, 4 remaining from 5.
I think the non-striker fell and held her back
That's
from the
absolutely
second
right.
run.
Absolutely.
It happened.
Wow.
This is exciting.
This is extremely
Exciting.
exciting. This came all the way to the wire here. The switching around of fielders. Lisa Ramjet, captain, is now on into the position just inside the circle. In fact, she may be.
And we have
4 runs needed from the last 5 balls. Here we go. Pulled around the corner for a single.
run fast,
Goes
up
for
and down,
double.
don't get the ball.
Should get 2.
Run fast!
Throw coming
Up and down,
two
run
on the
fast.
keepers and 2 runs. And just another 2 runs separate cricket
Good job, Abana.
from what would be a comprehensive victory here in the finals.
it's a super exciting
2 balls, 2
game.
run, 4 balls.
2 runs,
Wow.
4 balls.
You okay?
Everything to play for here.
Two runs needed. Two. 2 runs. 4 balls. 2 runs.
Wow. On the tide to the win. Here she is again. Tara looking to change the momentum. Boulder! She knocked her over.
Aye,
Knocked her over.
that was
What
very
an
good.
anticlimactic result. So no celebration by any one of the Maryland girls because they're focused. They know what needs to happen here.
Excellent
Absolutely
bowling.
no celebration.
Excellent bowling. I think it was just very, very, very well timed and flighted delivery. And she knew she would be anxious to come out to hit. And I think she speculated that very well and calculated that ball very well.
Oh, Lasya.
Wow. Lasya at the wicket. 3 balls to go. 2 runs to get.
Let's go, Lasya.
Amazing, amazing effort.
Last year taking stand.
Wow.
Last year has been having a very good cricket year. This season, I would say. She's been doing very well. Pressure on to wrap it up.
Completely. How she handles this. Tara then bowling. Ooh, look at this. Oh no! That's out. Oh my goodness! The pressure got to her. She was running. Lost track of where the ball was. Good awareness by Urena, who collects the ball and immediately disturbs the first. Another wicked balls. Can you? Still 2 balls to go. Still 2 runs to get.
That was excellent stumping.
Run out, right?
I was about to say, if the question is asked whether it's a stumping or a run out, I would go run out because
Run
she
out.
went down the track of where the ball was. Actually just collected it. So, boy, is there one more twist?
There is. Look at this.
Who is at the wicket?
Who's the batter?
Sanjana. Wow. There is no way. Hold on to win this, could there?
No. This is very exciting. Very exciting.
2 to go.
Wow. 2 balls to go. Here we go. Boy, Sanjana's heart must be pounding through her chest this day. 2 balls to go, 2 runs to get. Fly to delivery. Pull away, get 1. The score's level. Do come back, and this is the end of the game.
Yes.
Look at the celebration. What a fantastic pressure shot. Pressure situation.
Excellent.
She delivers for her team with 1 ball to go. They win by 6 wickets. By 4 wickets rather. And what a fantastic effort by the Dream Cricket girls.
I think it was excellent and very well done by the teams. It is not about losing or winning. I think playing a very competitive game where you enjoy and it's a very exciting game for both the teams, and I think that is what the end result is. And I think both the teams did an excellent job under pressure as well as enjoying the game. So I applaud both the teams.
Wow.
Awesome job.
Well, Mira, I have to say, the last couple of hours have been wonderful. Thank you
Indeed,
for your efforts. It makes it so much easier when there's somebody else to commentate with.
absolutely, and my pleasure. It was so nice talking to you. Political I did enjoy it, I must say.
Fantastic. Well, see you at the after party.
Thank you.
Here.